The Israelite Nation, Worldwide Ministries.
There is a God, and if there is a God that sends the Spirit of truth, as it is written, then there has to be answers. This is our book, so we must know our book in order to perform our vows. We have to keep our oath, our side of the bargain. So when we've read and we've learned and we've studied and proved things, and as you said, Elder has taught us for many years, and we've read and we've gone over and we've debated at times, and we've come out seeing that, you know what, our position has stood, it stands. When we say we're not interested, we're not seeking for another teacher. We're not looking for an answer because we have it. So it's not from a position of arrogance.
It's not arrogance.
It's not.
No.
It's like saying, you offer me, would you like another plate of food? No, I'm filled. Thank you.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not arrogant. I actually may like your food.
Right.
But I'm good. I'm good.
You're absolutely correct, Priest Kirk, because it just goes to show, like, when scriptures, like, we don't boast. Like, I don't boast about myself, but we boast in the understanding of these scriptures, because we've seen it all, we've heard it all, and what's being said now, it's not any different. Like, I remember way back in the day, it was always Christianity, and whatever Christianity had to offer, we proved everything absolutely to be incorrect, and had no foundation whatsoever. And now that's no problem. And now it's like we're on to a new phase now, and BHIs. It's like it's into a new phase, and it's like, you know what? We dealt with that too. 30 years ago.
Long time ago.
Like, a lot of them like to think that they're the first ones who are saying what they're saying. Yeah. But like we had our introduction to the BHIs.
Can you take a moment and just talk to them? Just talk to them and just let them know.
I remember, I think it might have been 96 or 97 when Rise, when you were a member of Rise in those days, and you had the Milk and Honey seminars, right? The Milk and Honey seminars. We invited Israelites from everywhere, way back in the day.
We're not going to say any names.
No, okay.
We're not going to say any names, but rest assured, some of those members that came down to our Milk and Honey seminars, right? Some of them are even part of that group of 7, I think they're called.
Okay.
Some of them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, oh yes. So we're not talking about underlings or underbosses.
No.
We're talking about some high rankers in the HBI world.
Back in those days, you saw some on TV.
Yeah.
They're on TV. You know, like
those. Not the students.
No. We're not talking about the branch off guys. We're not talking about the Johnny Come Latelys.
No.
Not the Johnny Come Latelys.
No.
I'm talking about the guys that were like there. They came all the way to Toronto, Canada to partake in the Milk and Honey seminar. So it's like we're not strangers. Like, it's not that we don't know anything or have any. And we haven't encountered BHIs before, like but we have always maintained who we are. As a matter of fact, back in those days, they never even used to touch the New Testament. Right. They wouldn't go into the Second Testament because the talk was, it's a Christian book. Yeah. You know, so and I will always stand firm with the teachings that our elder Shadrach has taught us. We learned about all these things like way back. It's like, you know, so for now, like it's
when they come brand new.
Yeah,
when they come with the energy on YouTube, on Instagram, they come with the energy like their teaching is brand new. Like, you guys need to do this, you need to do this. Like, this again?
Yeah. So you see the rolling eyes emojis.
Yeah. The eyes looking up, or sometimes it's the clown faces. Yeah. It's again and again and again. It may be taken as arrogance.
Yeah. It's not.
It's not.
And we're not trying to be arrogant. We're just trying to let people know that we are the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. Right. We are not just Johnny Come Latelys. Elder Shadrach is our teacher. Right. He's our educator, and what we do is we educate, and we educate from the scriptures. This is our book of life. So we have to know it.
As you said at the beginning, we live in joy and happiness.
There's no need to be upset. I don't need to be upset with people that I don't know. I don't need to be angry with people that I don't know. I don't need to show forth any sort of aggression.
Yeah.
Like the fruits of the Spirit are peace. So I'm at peace. I'm actually happy to discuss our book of life. It's joyous to me. And I don't have to be angry.
No.
There's no place for that. It's not even approachable. It's like people don't want to approach you if you're angry all the time. But
my hope is one day that it's my hope one day that same peace that you're speaking of, that it could be shared across the spectrum, so that we could one day all with one voice, sing, pray, cry, teach of our Father. That's the hope.
But you know what?
It's difficult.
Your hope is definitely a reality within the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. Within the Israelite Nation, it is a reality.
Yeah.
Because that's
what it is.
That's divine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It is. It's there. You feel such. We feel when you're successful, we all feel joyous.
Yes.
It's like this is thumbs up. When we do work for our God, when we're building our nation, when we're building, it's thumbs up. Everybody's enthusiastic about it. Everybody, you get that vibe, and it's there. I can't say the same for everyone else on the outside. Maybe they might be angry, but within the nation, we're
it's not that temperature.
No,
right? The temperature that's always that approaches us is different. Different vibe. But hey,
always. That's why we laugh a lot. It's true what it is. What verse am I at? Verse 28.
20 is it 28?
Verse 28. Yes, and when I would have known the cause wherefore they accused him, I brought him forth into their council, whom I perceived to be accused of questions of their law, but to have nothing laid to his charge worthy of death, of bonds. And when it was told me how that the Jews laid wait for the man, I sent straightway to thee, and gave commandment to his accusers also to say before thee what they had against him. Farewell. Then the soldiers, as it was commanded them, took Paul and brought him by night to I.N.P.S. On the morrow they left the horsemen to go with him and returned to the castle, who when they came to Caesarea and delivered the epistle to the governor, presented Paul also before him. So this is getting big. It's a big thing because it's like you're going to the Supreme Court now.
Yeah.
So it's not like your local courts. It's not traffic. It's gone. It's
not provincial.
It's not provincial like here in Ontario, in provincial. So now you're going to the federal court. So you're bringing it up to the governor. And the captain, the chief captain, he's like, wow, what is going on here?
This still?
What he's saying, you know what? This is above my pay grade. I'm going to have to send this to the governor. And so the trial continues.
To the Supreme
Court. And it says here in verse 34, and when the governor had read the letter, he asked of what province he was, and when he understood that he was of Cilicia, I will hear thee, said he, when thine accusers are also come. And he commanded him to be kept in Herod's judgment hall. So it's a wonderful story in terms of for us to understand our culture, our people, the mindset of who we are, so that we can understand that when the time comes, because it probably will come, it's not going to be the strangers that are against us that would say, oh, well, we have to do something about these people. the strangers will probably support it. It's going to be our own people that are going to come to try and tear us down. And we see that all the time. It's rather than say, you know what, you're doing a good job, you're making the people aware of who they are. They come to correct.
Yeah.
They come to say, oh, he's got this. They come to criticize. They come to pass judgment, and not even understand who we are. I don't know if it has to do with jealousy or envy. I would probably say
it has to do with what exactly
the spirit
what we
itself.
just read. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Pharisees and Sadducees, and you got Dathan and Korah, and it goes all the way. And it's the same people, same cast and crew, same spirit.
Crabs in the barrel.
Yeah. It's the crabs in the barrel. It's awful. You know, and sometimes I wonder. I mean, sometimes when I've responded, I'm like, okay, so let's say that you do have something to say. Why does it have to be a public display? Right? You don't go to your brother and say, hey, you know, we got an issue here in the family, and we close the door and we talk and then we leave however we leave. No, it's got to be open the curtains. Turn on the megaphones, and I see a disagreement in the scripture. And it's got to be posted for thousands of people to. I don't understand that at all. I really don't. I really don't. But you know, then we have to respond. And we respond back with the thousands of people. It's a cycle that I wish would stop.
It's a vicious cycle.
I see an important piece here too. When Paul said, you know, I am a Roman. And he said, well, I'm a Pharisee. We're two different nations, right? Roman, because he's a citizen of,
right,
and he's a Pharisee, which is a sect of his own people, which is the Israelites. So, you know, this may be something else one day when we come back. You know, when he says to the circumcision, and to the uncircumcision, right, But you can see some of it's here amongst us, right? People might not notice it. It could be subtle. But like, for example, if somebody was born in the U.S., right? Like a child of Jacob, they will go overseas, right? And the first thing that will come out of their mouth, if anything happens, well, I'm American. You know? They'll go to the Caribbean when they're on vacation. Oh, I'm American. You know, like, dude, like, chill, like, but you know what happens to you in America, right? You know what happens to people that looks like you in America, right? You know, so it's, you can see that, and that's what Paul is kind of using to his advantage, because of his knowledge and understanding. He could speak Roman, he could speak Greek, like he was a jack of all trades. You know, he could speak the language. He was smart with the mouth.
Oh, he was intelligent. There's nobody in the scriptures like him. The way he wrote, it would have you believe, if you have no knowledge, if you have no understanding, if you have no culture or understanding of the culture of his people,
you're lost.
You would think,
oh, you're lost.
Oh my goodness,
you're lost.
And not only BHIs are lost. I remember even Rastas and Christians and people like always confusing Paul, always having Paul confused. And to the point that they would say, oh, I hate that guy, Paul. I can't stand him. How he would do this and say that. But you don't understand him.
It's what James said to him, right? He said, hey, you know, the people are saying that you're telling them not to follow the law.
Right.
No. I'm telling the Gentiles that they should stay away from things strangled and fornication and blood.
Right.
But I myself am circumcised.
Yeah. And it's like people who have no understanding would see. You see what he's saying? Women, be silent in the church.
Women, be silent in the church.
Women, be silent in the church.
Yep.
But he's saying, let your women.
Yeah.
He's not even referring, he would never refer to an Israelite woman to say for Israelite women to be silent in the church.
No. It's the same way he would never go to an Israelite and say, you are now a deacon.
Right.
He say, I'm a what?
Yeah.
You are now a bishop.
Yeah. The same way he would never say, "Oh, you don't have to circumcise. Just circumcise your heart.
Circumcise your heart.
Don't worry about. Don't keep those laws of Moses. Don't worry about that. You know, the flesh is of no consequence.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
See, that's the confusion people would have, to the point that they would think that, wow, this guy's a Christian. Because according to Christianity, oh, you don't have to do anything.